Thanks so much, Hannah, and thank you to the ICS for the opportunity to speak today. And I would like to acknowledge our PICS colleagues who are working with us on this project. Thank you, Harriet, for sharing your lived experience. I'm going to talk about paediatrics, but in fact, there's many similarities, and we hear the same stories of resilience from patients and families, but also I think you described that weird period when treatment ends and you're meant to navigate the healthcare system. So that's what this project is about, called Lotus Teen, and I'll just go on to describe what we're doing. So the problem we've been addressing really over the last 4 years in at the Children's and the Murdoch Children's Research Institute is how can we address unmet patient and family information needs. It's a very big issue for us in paediatrics, and in particular, how can we engage young people in their healthcare, particularly around supportive care trials and navigating the healthcare system post their treatment. So we were fortunate enough to receive a 3-year grant from the Victorian Cancer Council, and we've been in the process of developing an app which is called LotusLab. I'll give you a little video just to give you an idea of what that app is. So for this particular project, what we're really focusing on is actually trying to develop information that is really suitable for teens, so those 12 to 18-year-old. When we do, LotusLab has been developed with very extensive co-design, but often when we engage young people, we're getting those older adolescents and young adults, and it's much harder to kind of get developmentally appropriate information for those younger teens, and so that's what this project is about. So just to give you an idea, a little overview of what LotusLab is, you should have a piece of video.
Welcome to LotusLab. Here, you will find information about your childhood cancer experience and answers to questions about life during and after treatment. This app is designed for young people and their parents or carers. With LotusLab, you are in control and can enroll in a program based on your current stage of treatment and information needs. Let's take a closer look at what LotusLab can offer you. The guide is where you will find activities related to your stage of treatment. The activities include up-to-date information and videos and can be completed in your own time. The library has summaries of each topic and useful links for you to come back to whenever you need. In My Files, you will find your personalized documents like your treatment summary and surveillance roadmap. LotusLab also provides up-to-date information on clinical trials and can help you identify which trials you might be interested in. All information kept on LotusLab is protected with state-of-the-art security measures. We hope you enjoy using LotusLab.
Okay, so that's our app, and so what we've been doing for this project is engaging young people. So to date we've run 2 focus groups with 12 participants aged 13 to 20 years. They've had a very broad range of experience from being diagnosed very young through to being diagnosed as adolescents. And what we were doing in those focus groups is really trying to understand what kind of information about end of treatment and survivorship they want to have, and what kind of how they would like the app to look and feel. So I'm going to discuss this very briefly. Not surprisingly, the young people said, well, they'd only be interested in the app if it was relevant to them. Some of the younger children actually don't identify themselves as cancer survivors because they were diagnosed very young. So that's a real challenge because they still need to have lifelong health care, but how we engage them is really important. The topics that they raised is really important that they'd like to see in the app included things like socialising with peers after cancer and returning to school. That's not surprising. We know that those can be difficult. Information around healthy lifestyles such as healthy eating and exercise. lots of issues around body image. They talked about just changes to their body during treatment and post-treatment that they would like more information about. And really interesting to us, they talked about how to manage their parents' anxiety, and often that they won't report symptoms because they worry about worrying their parents, or they worry that that will start a cascade of medical care again. So that's a really interesting one for us to think about. And also they do want information around fear of recurrence, and also how to navigate the healthcare system and get time alone with their doctor, which unfortunately in paediatrics still doesn't happen as it should, even though we know it's best practice. In terms of videos, they did not like any of the videos that their parents liked. They want very brief information. They want vlog style, so direct to camera video. If it's more than 30 seconds, then we need to change the setting because they won't attend for longer than that. So some really interesting things for us to think about. How do you create information for young teenagers? So what we're doing now, we've just employed a project officer who's working on starting to create the content. The young people themselves will be developing that rich media, and then we'll be evaluating this project with young people to see if we're meeting their information needs.